Hey everybody,
Hey everybody,
it's me, April,
it's me, Marita,
and I'm with
and
my
I'm
Mar-
here with my April banana.
I'm here with my Marquita banana, and as promised, a few decades ago, somebody had requested our coming out stories. Um, yeah,
Do you want me to go first?
yeah.
Okay. So, I knew from a very young age that I was into females. I always thought that there was something weird about it, like there was something wrong with me. When I was supposed to have crushes on other little boys, I actually had crushes on other little girls. And that was something that I felt and I knew. But there was an incident when I was in middle school where a girl told another girl that she liked little girls, and it was all over the school. So I knew at a very young age, don't say anything, don't tell anybody. Either way, fast forward to when I got into high school, and it's time to figure out who you are and figure out what you want and learn what self-expression is all about. And you have to pretty much navigate through this world on your own. There was a girl in my class, my English class. I was in the 10th grade at the time, and I liked her. And I don't know if there was anything physical behind it, but I knew that, I'm not even going to say that I liked her. I knew that I was attracted to her, just physically attracted to her. And so, you okay?
What are my eyebrows? I think I'll wipe my eyebrows off. Sorry, go ahead.
And so, I went to her one day, and I had wrote her a note. And, I basically said, I've never been with a female before, but I like girls. And she was just like, seriously? And I was like, yeah. I'm not even sure if she really took me serious at all, but it was the beginning of me getting to know her. It was the beginning of me trying to understand what I was going through. At that point in time, we ended up getting into a relationship a little while later, and my mom was going through some papers in my room when she found a letter that the girl had wrote me. And she stopped me and she asked me one day when I came home from school, she was like, do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, yeah. And it was so tragic because she told me to go upstairs and get this Bible that my grandmother had given me. And of course she went to Leviticus, which basically said that I was an abomination. And I remember her telling me that I was going to hell, and there was nothing that I can do to change that. And that once she was dead and gone, she knew that she would never see me again because she was going to heaven and I was going to hell. And for me, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. I didn't really have too much of a good relationship with my mom at that time. And, it was almost like I longed for it. I needed it. But it just didn't exist. And this didn't make it any better. As far as school, the girl that I was dealing with, I asked her not to say anything because I was in the closet. I didn't know what was going on or what I was doing. And she opened her mouth. And she started telling people. And next thing I know, kids were coming up to me. I heard you were a dyke. And at that point in time, the word really wasn't offensive. But my response, plain and simple, was, well, I don't know what I am, because in the future I can change my mind. I don't know if I will always be like this, or if I will always be like this. I don't know. So I never actually claimed to be a lesbian in high school, at least not at that point in time. I didn't claim to be bi. I didn't claim to be experimenting or straight with a side of female appetite. I didn't claim to be anything. I just knew how I felt on the inside. I knew that experience that I wanted, and it was what it was. And I had the help of others to navigate through the lesbian lifestyle and learn the terminology and all the spots to hang out and where to go for support and who I can talk to and who I couldn't. And so it was tough the first few years for me. I don't think that anybody would actually knowingly subject themselves to what I went through, because I've been called out of my name. I've been disrespected. I've been talked down to. I've been talked about. I've been disowned, blacklisted, and it hurts. But it made me stronger for who I am today. And my sexuality does not define me. It does not define my character or the person that I am. It comes along with the package.
Yeah. Yeah. And for 3 easy payments of $59.99.
$39.86.
So my coming out story. So unlike Marita and other women out there that know they were gay since they were in the womb, that didn't happen to me. And at a point in my coming out journey, I was like, well, I didn't know when I was 3 years old. I didn't know when I was 9 years old that I was gay. Like, I didn't think about that. I never had any experience when I was younger that I had crushed on a woman or I had a crush on a little girl like myself. I can't remember anything that would pull me to there. When I started, I guess becoming attracted to women, it was in high school, because I had this crush on my best friend in high school. And
what's her name? Tell us her name. No, I'm just kidding. Tell us her name. Where is she from?
Oh, I had a crush on my best friend in high school, and she was the only one who knew that I had a crush on her. And she used to talk about this guy before I had come out to her and told her. She used to talk about this guy that she liked so much, and I guess she would ask for my advice on. The guy was a little bit older than us. He had graduated already from high school, but she was, she just wanted him so bad, and I was like, why can't she want with me? So when I told her or whatever, she kind of was totally not down with the cause, obviously. I mean, it didn't freak her out to the point where she stopped being my friend. Even to now, we still talk occasionally and catch up. But, I told her, but she didn't obviously feel the same way, so I was heartbroken. I did date boys in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I had 3 relationships in high school. I was dating this. I didn't really come out. I guess I came out to my parents. Well, I'm not going in chronological order. In high school, I knew that I was attracted to women because you know how they always tell you when you're little, you'll have these dreams about boys, and when you're in puberty, you're gonna start dreaming about boys, or you're fantasizing about boys. That never happened to me. I was fantasizing and dreaming about girls, and I would sneak and turn on a porno channel and watch lesbian porn. And all lesbian situations. I remember my mom, I snuck porn into my room, and I had it hidden. And my mom, I came home from school one day and my room was trashed. My mom found all my porn, and then she called my dad, and my dad and mom are not together. she called my dad, and she's like, April has all this porn and all this derogatory stuff in her room, and she's watching it. And my dad was like, well, I don't know what you want me to do about it. What do you want me to do about it? Anyway, all that to say, yeah, so when I was younger, I had more sexual fantasies about women, and I remember I would have these vivid dreams. Like, I knew what it was going to be like to have sex with a woman before, like, I even experienced it. I knew it. And I remember telling my cousin, me and my cousin were like really close. I remember telling her when I was younger, like early teenager, I was like, I don't see myself growing up and marrying a man. I see myself being with a woman for the rest of my life. And I told her that. And she was like, oh, I see myself being with a woman named Marita for the rest of my life. And now I found her. No, I never said it. But I told her that I could see myself with a woman for the rest of my life. And she's like, well, how do you know that? Like, it's crazy. Like, how do you know that? Like, you can't just know you're going to be with a woman. And I was like, I don't know. I just do. And she's like, April, yeah, everybody's like, you don't know what you're talking about. So I think one day I got in an argument with my mom, and I was still a teenager, still living at home, and my mom was asking me about something. I was very, like, protected growing up, like, very protected, because I grew up in a very, like, religious household. Like, my mom just raised me, but, because my mom and dad are divorced, but she was very religious. So, she really indoctrinated me and my sister, and that you gotta wait for the mate, and you have to,
the right man.
Yeah, the right man.
Come in on
Prince
his
Charming.
Stallion.
You gotta pray on the right man and speak in tongues to get your right man and all this stuff. And I remember thinking, and this is even before I was a teenager. I remember thinking when I was little, because she used to always talk about the role of a woman and a man in a household, the role of rearing children in the household, the roles of, man and wife. And I remember, why do I have to have a fucking husband? Like, they indoctrinated me, and, like, I'm supposed to grow up and get married, and this guy is supposed to whisk me off. And I did not want that. I wanted no parts of that. And they kept on telling me that's what I should want. And I just was so sad and depressed in myself that this was going to happen to me. I was going to get older, and I was going to have a husband, and I was going to get married. And I'm like, I don't want that. So I know I'm not on track, but let me get back on track with regards to the coming out story. So I got in an argument with my mom one day when I was a teenager, and I was like, oh, I'm gay or whatever, and it spread out to, I guess, the whole family, but they never actually saw me tangibly with a woman, because I had dated guys, I guess, all the time before then. So I really ended up coming out when I was in college. I was in nursing school, and there was this girl that I used to study with. She was a crazy fucking bitch. She was crazy. Anyway, she wasn't even...
Tell us her name. No, I'm just kidding.
She wasn't even gay. But I just... Something about me, like, was drawn to her. Like, I don't know what it was, but something about me.
She wasn't even attractive either.
I wanted... I don't know. I was just so attracted to her.
Like, when you see her, she reminds you of...
Here we go. I could talk about your exes you showed me. Listen, that's not besides the point. The point of the matter is, she was my first girl experience. Up until then, I used to, like, dream and have fantasies and everything about being with a woman, like, both sexually and being in a relationship with a woman. I was with an excellent boyfriend at the time. He was very open. He knew. I had told him, I was thinking that, I had wanted to be with a woman. But, originally it was like he thought it was just like sexually, he wanted to be with a woman. I was happy with him and everything like that. And I was dealing with this girl. We were study partners. Got really close. We were really good friends. Anyway, case in point, make a long story short, I ended up having sex with her. He caught me having sex with her, and then that brought a whole storm of, like, self-discovery and self-acceptance. because he was an excellent guy. When I told him, even before that situation happened, that I wanted to experiment with women and wanted to be with a woman, he, gave me the freedom to do such. He always told me, I don't want to hold you back. If this is what you feel you are, you know what I mean? You can't help who you are. And when we broke up, when we separated separated parts, he said, I don't want to hinder you. This is who you are, and I don't want to hinder you from being who you are. And he was an excellent guy. And that's what made me feel so guilty inside, because I couldn't love him the way he loved me. And I'm beating myself up about it, saying, well, he's what every woman could possibly want. Why am I not? What's wrong with me? But then it's nothing wrong with me. I'm just gay. I'm gay, you know what I mean? So I had to make, there was a self-acceptance, I guess, point.
Yeah.
But in the end, that relationship that I first got into when I first came out was terribly destructive. And when you get into your first relationship, when you're, I don't know why, but it tends to be
bad.
Yeah, you tend to fall for a lot of stuff that you would never fall for.
And it's like you're so happy that you have that one thing that you've been longing for, that you'll take whatever abuse comes your way just to keep it.
And it was a disaster. It was fucking disaster.
Listen, hindsight is 50-50. I'll tell you that right now.
2020.
Listen, the shit is 50-50. Because I see a hell of a lot more. I can,
You don't want 50-50 eyesight, babe.
That's bad.
You want 20. Yeah, higher the number. Listen, the higher the number, the worse your eyesight.
Well, hindsight is like 1-1.
600. Like, you don't want my eyesight.
It really is?
Yeah.
It's really
really bad. My eyesight is really
600?
bad. It's really bad. I can't even see the big E on the thing. I only know because the E, because...
Hindsight for me is fucking clear as day. But like I said, the things that I went through coming out and the people that I dealt with made me stronger, And then the one thing I love is that I really do believe that I suffer from the ugly duckling syndrome. So when I was younger, I wasn't as attractive as I am now. So now I look back and I be like, oh man, that bitch played me. Look at me now. You still, as a matter of fact, you went pretty fucking downhill. And I'm like the bomb.com action mom.
Girl.
So.
But needless to say, take home point is when you are going through this coming out, like, strange finding yourself phase. And it's so weird because, like, I was indoctrinated into this, how you should be. This is what you should want. This is how you should be. This is how you should go through life wanting this. But when you realize it's not what you really want, it really...
You have to learn.
You have to learn inside yourself what is
how
really you.
How to accept yourself.
Yeah, right. And it's so cheesy because people are like, just be who you are.
It's not that easy,
but it's
because
not that
you
easy.
have so much influence, especially when it comes to your older friends, your siblings,
your family, how your
members,
parents
your
respond.
Cousins, everything. Like, I was in such a closed box for so long because I didn't know how to break out. And once I did, I never looked back.
Right.
I never looked back.
And now, I'm going to marry a woman like I predicted I was when I was an embryo.
Come on, babe. Tell him good night with your crazy ass.
Good night, YouTube.
We hope that, we know that our stories aren't going to relate to everybody watching, but we do hope that, somebody that's going through something similar to what we went through, if it's, issues with parents, if it's issues with a spouse or whomever, even if you're just bi-curious and you're just like, I know that something
pulls me.
Right, I'm not 100% satisfied with my husband or my boyfriend or whoever it is.
Or even if it's vice versa. If you say, I know I was lesbian or bisexual and I know I'm not 100%.
It's okay. It's fine.
With my girlfriend or wife or whatever.
The fact of the matter is that you have to live in your truth. And don't let anybody, not society, not the community you live in, not your friends. Don't ever let anybody hold you back from you finding your happiness.
Right. Right.
And that's what it all comes down to. Sometimes you're going to have people in your life that you feel like, well, you know, this is all I know. But just because it's all you know does not mean it's healthy and safe for you.
Exactly. And the girl, I mean, I guess my first relationship, she made me feel like even when I was in the transitional phase, like I knew I wanted to be with a woman and I knew I was attracted to her. Like she was very religious too. So it was really a turning point for her, even though she wasn't gay, but I guess it was just a whole experiment for her. But the whole point of the matter is she made me feel so bad and ugly about myself because I was the way I was. So when something was, when she was upset with something in her life, she'd be like, well, I'm in a gay homosexual relationship or I'm in a gay relationship and yada, yada, yada. Like she made me feel terrible. Well, being in a gay relationship isn't right. That's probably why such and such is happening to us. Or, et cetera, et cetera. Like, she would make me feel so terrible. That I was, like another, like the other woman, or like her,
Well, now you got somebody that looks better.
Yes.
That supports you. Because I look better. All right. Anyway, feel free to drop us a line.
Like, comment, subscribe.
And
Did
share.
I get it right this time?
You forgot share.
Share. Sharing is caring.
We like to hear from you. Thank you for everybody that, congratulated us on our recent engagement. We really do appreciate it.
And check out Mama Gina, Womanly Arts. We had a lot of... it's backwards. I forgot about that because it's on camera.
So you flip it upside down because you think... Say goodnight, babe.
Good night, babe.
Good night, everybody.